Rabbi say.
Give me extra shit.
A review, no?
Review, okay.
Help us.
The Maimon Tzivim Mishpat Tipol Shuver B'Tzedakah that we learned. He brought the mind from the Alter Rebbe. We used it on the mind from the Alter Rebbe. This Maimon. Alter Rebbe, the Maimon right where he starts off the Maimon. It says in the pasuk Vayat Barmela Shonit Mitzaf Hayim. It says that every day should be the mitzvahs, should be kachadoshi. That's the Taisha Shonit Mitzaf Hayim. Every single day we should refer to the mitzvahs as if they were giving today. And he says, how do a person come to such a level that he should come to the situation that he should feel every day that the mitzvahs are giving to him today? That's through the peeking into this pasuk Kufa that it says that who's commanding, it's coming from Anechi mitzvah. Atzmus is mitzvah. It's coming from Atzmus. And he says, therefore, Yav Shachab Shum Aztib Bermaz V'Kol Chayil Mabo, because the Haba is only Nanim Ziva Shchim. Shenken Haza, you have Amshach Atzmus to Tshuva Ma'asim Tevim. So this is the way it should be. But if a person doesn't have this, he's not thinking into the situation, to the reality of mitzvahs that come from Atzmus. So mainly he's not calling Me'eveinu Kachadoshim. So mainly his highs and lows that come from Yonel Hazeh. So then he's in Golus, and then he has to go out of Golus. That's Tzivim Mishpat Tipod. That's what he's going to conclude the Maimon. We're going to conclude today. So he asked the question, why is it that you need to have that the mitzvahs should be kachadoshim? Even if they're not chadoshim, you can also be excited about the mitzvahs. It should be a ikir. Another question he asked another question that what's the only way to become chadoshim is through the Mנחem Mitzaf Hayim. If you know that there's Chai mitzvahs in Elam Haba, which is a great anoah, Elam Haba is greater than Elam Atchi, which is even greater than Gan Eden. You could also come to the situation of having a Chais in mitzvahs. The mind should be chadoshim. And the mind it's mashma that the only way you should come to the mitzvahs should be chadoshim, and not yishon is only through these bonus in the Mנחem Mitzaf Hayim. That it's amshocha. So he starts saying, what's the Taisha Cholim Menach Chadosh? The fact that every day it should be like new is dafka through a level higher than change. Because it doesn't change. He constantly feels that the Torah mitzvah is a new thing. So since the world Mitzad Atzmi is Zman, is under time, there's changes, so you can't have constant one feeling. The fact that he has constant one feeling, that has to come from Eira Seviv. Then he starts saying that Eira Seviv is also not enough. Because Eira Seviv, which is higher than the world, it would break the world, it wouldn't penetrate the world, it wouldn't give the world chayis. In order to have a chayis in mitzvahs, as if it's a new thing, it's a fusion of the two opposites of gvul and bligvul. That in the Welt, so herren ze chayim from the Malam Azman. That's the chibur of Yisevim Umali. That's only through Amshach Sa'ad, that's through Atzmus, which has no gdarim, not gvul, not bligvul. Therefore, he could put together that the bligvul can come into the gvul. Then he adds a new word. The Rebbe says that why do you need to have Yisevim Umali is because means that there's Zaman and Lamaylam Azman, because the in of a Chiddush is the Cholim Kachadosh, the in of Chiddush means that it's a Chiddush, something new, shows that it's in of Zman. And the fact that B'cholim Kachadoshim, the in of Zman is constantly, that shows that there's a Chibur of both in Yonim, Lamaylam Azman and Zman. That's the in, and the Rebbe says this in a way is even closer to the connection of Sev and Mamali, because the Mamali Gufa becomes the Eifin of Lamaylam Azman. The Zman Gufa is Lamaylam Azman. They said that they have to have, that we say, that you have to have Kim Tel Mitzvah Eifin of Chadoshim, not just we should have more Chais, it's also negate the Eifin of Mitzvahs. But the whole Kavanah Tel Mitzvahs Yichot Sev and Mamali, Yichot Kushim Richosh Chimpei, and when a person does his Aved in such a way that he's the end of Kachadoshim, it's not just that he's doing it's not just that he's having more chayis and mitzvahs, it's rather he's doing what mitzvahs are all about. He's making yichot sev v'malach, that's what mitzvahs are all about. You have to have aved mein am shoche, and since it's aved going to be an eifin of chibur zman l'maylam azman, so this is going to add in the yichot of sev v'malach, which happens through mitzvahs. Then he starts saying, this is where we're holding. This is the way we started concluding that he started saying that these two inyanim, Sev and Mamale, that's a vayin alikim. Like you know that alikim is not just mailim, not just kelim, it's also the eir hamislavish bekelim, which is even metzumtzum ufyelcha kelim, and that's the in of shem alikim, and that's the shadish of the guf, and the shadish of the nefesh comes from shem havayah. So he says just like a alikim hides over shem havayah, so to the guf hides over the nefesh. So the same thing, Seviv Mamali, that Mamali will hide over Seviv. So in order that a person should feel in his life that the main thing is his neshama and all his bodily matters are thoughtful, are not important, is only through Yichud Seviv Mamali. Because Yichud Seviv Mamali means that Seviv, which is higher than the world, because Mashenkin Mamali is a source for the Inyan Me'elam, that the world has a value. So through the fusion of the two, Sev and Mamali, that in the source of the world, which there's a realization of the world has a value, should be realized, should be felt. The concept of Sev, which is higher than the world's, nothing has a value. That makes that the person should also live in such a way that his guf should be a tofel to his neshama. And if a person does not have this in b'cholim kachadoshim, that's automatic. He's going to have the Medina Satanic Shlo is going to be from Yon Elam Hazeh. Why? Because in order to make Yichud Seviv Mamali, which causes that the Yon Elam Hazeh are not Tifus Mokim, is dafka through b'cholim kachadoshim. Like we said before, that b'cholim kachadoshim means Zaman is Lamayla Ma'azman. That Mamali is connected with Seviv. So that makes that he should have a geshmak in a lakus. Mashenkin, if he doesn't have this inyan, automatically he's going to have a geshmak in Yon Elam Hazeh, because Mamali Tzadatzmei is a source to Yon Elam, and eventually he's going to have a geshmak in Yon Elam. So he says, we're here, we're holding inside. Sivov. Now we'll understand. We're holding this page from now. Sivov. Now we'll understand what's the connection of golos to shikre. It says, what's the holy of golos? And we're saying that the Eibusher is forgetting about us. What does this mean? Why does a person have forgetfulness? Since the knowledge that he had previously was a limited knowledge. Therefore, after a while passes, it stops. He loses it. He loses the knowledge that he had. From this we understand by the Eibusher L'mayla Kivyochel. What is the pshat? There's zikorin and shikre by the Eibusher. When you have the true concept of zikorin, remembering, is dafkin seviv. Like it said also in the Maamar from the Shishon also says Malchus is in Mamali and Zechrenes is in seviv. Because zikorin is seviv. Why? The kim should bleak vul ain't shachsham hefsik. Because since he's bleak vul, there's no hefsik. It doesn't stop. It lasts forever. It's everlasting. When is that possible? The concept of shikre, akapanim b'yachas to the nivraim, they shouldn't feel him, is malchus. The malchus is sheish and nivraim mamali. It's a source for nivraim. It's a mugbul to get. Even though we know the Lashon exists a lot of places, in Sof HaMamali, in Sof HaSeviv. Still, here he says that the malchus, since it's sheish and nivraim, and it gives place for nivraim for nivraim mugbolim, so to the aid is also to be yochel. Huh?
Malchus and Seviv?
Malchus is Mamali.
No, but it's Malchus in Father and Zos.
Hech be Malchus Seviv. Zo is Seviv. V'yachas to Malchus. Hey, Zo Seviv. Agam and Anna, ganz in the Stalschluss, is Mamali. Kesser Seviv. That's Vachamayim, that's Vacharinian. But here he's dividing it, Zo and Malchus is Seviv and Mamali. This is Malchus Sheish and Ibrahim Mamali. So therefore, it's Shachin of Shikr. Belochin. So the Shekim Atem is the Adam who baby the B'cholim Kachadoshim. When a person learns serves the Eibush in a way that he does Terem Mitzneif, that it's Chadoshim, that Shaydeza, which causes. Shaydeza Meira Gildera Blikvul Gambeira Mukbul. This causes when he has the in of Blikvul in his Hakbola, in his man. He's L'maylam Azman B'chol Yem Kachadoshim. He's constantly Kachadoshim. He's in Zman, and he has a in of L'maylam Azman, like we mentioned last time. That causes that the Eira Blikvul should be made in the Eira Mukbul. Is ain't Shaykhin a Shikra. It's not a possibility for Shikra. But when a person does mitzvahs in a limited way, which means when he is Mekayim the same mitzvah in the second and third time, he doesn't have the same vigor, the same chayis like he had in the first time when he did the mitzvah. This causes that Lamaila also, that there shouldn't be, the Eira Gvul shouldn't be made, the Eira Blikvul and the Eira Gvul. From this causes the in of Shikra. That's one cause that he causes that through the fact that he doesn't have the chayis and teremitzis neif and kachadoshim. And another thing he says, just where a person when a person does teremitzis in a way of a limited way. And this comes out that his geschmack comes in from worldly matters. Which this having a geschmack from Yon Elam, that makes him simcha, like I said before. Simcha Amir Shalem Yon Elam Hazeh is Hepech HaKdusha. like the Alter Rebbe brings in Tanya in many places. And brought them Chassidus, so that's Hepech of Kedusha, that's Klippus, al there's all the Mailot, so he causes the Mailot. That Deisha Zoh save Mistalik, when Zoh removes himself. The Nisharak Amalchus Memale, Zagerim, he did some Malchus Lachas Klippus Gol Sashchina. So this causes that Malchus should lower itself down to give life to Klippus, which is Gol Sashchina. So the goal comes from what? When a person doesn't have, when he doesn't have the Yinah B'cholim Kachadoshim. Why? Because since his Torah is in a limited way, so Mele is Geschmack is from Yoneh Elam. He doesn't have Chibur of Sevim Mamali in his life. That causes that his Geschmack is going to be from Yoneh Elam. But Mele also Lamaila, it causes his Avedas, Kiviyachal, his Avedas, his Heder Avedas, causing his Lamaila also. Should be Meina, the Avedas Meina Amshocha, that also Lamaila is going to be Amshocha and Klippus.
How do you do the Veda?
How do you do Chadoshim? You have to work on it.
What
thinking the fact that Aneichim Mitzafa, that's Amshach Sa'atzmus.
This is bonus.
This is bonus of Aneichim Mitzafa. That's the concept of Aneichim Mitzafa, that's Amshach Sa'atzmus. When you know that by doing a mitzvah, you have the etzem of the Eibishter, that's going to cause the person to be excited about the mitzvah, Neifim of Chadoshim Amish. Kasha is this we could connect to Mashkos Bafter Shabbos Chazon. We could connect this with what it says in Bafter Shabbos Chazon. Yod Shekineu Gamer Yisrael Yod Amalei is Ben. The ox knows his master, knows the one who gives him food. But the Yidden didn't know, and my nation did not think into this. They didn't think into who's feeding them. Arizal, which today, the day of the Maimer, it was said, is Dal of. Erev of his Yortzitz, he says like this. What does the Arizal say? The Sher Koyal Egel Shasa Erev Rav Midbar. The Sher is referring to the Egel, that the calf that the Erev Rav made in the Midbar. How did they make it? They threw in the fire, they threw in the piece of gold, the piece of metal, whatever that was written on it, Alei Sher. But they Lahal said Initial Yesef, which Mesha wrote on it, Alei Sher, in order to elevate the Arn of Yesef from the river, from the Nilus. And they put it into the fire, and that came out the egel. From the fire, and he says, explains the Arizal says, the Taz Zeh Yokos Vashem Yud Lamed Yud. And this Taz was written in the name Yud Lamed Yud, which is the Shem Hasheni Shal Hashem Ben Ein Bei Shemesh. There's the name of the Eibshter has Ein Bei Shemesh, the three Psukim, Shal Vayove Vayid Vayovi, whatever. So he says over there, the second name of the Eibshter was written on it. Shohu HaMemun Al Kech Asher Elyon. This Shem has a power. He's appointed on the power of the Sher Elyon. So when this shame was written, had a kech on the share.
Ich muss sagen, Egel ist ein kleiner.
A kleiner, yeah. Egel and nice share.
What? Egel ist ein kleiner.
A kleiner Kal, yeah.
Kelbele.
Grace for grace again.
Oh,
Zel Yoda Shekinei Yisrael Yoda. He says the shade itself, the calf itself, knew that it's coming from a Shem Kodesh. That's what causes Mitzvahs, that he himself knew, whatever that means, he knew. Whatever, not going to go into it. But the Yidden did not know that it's coming from the Kech of the Eibishter. But they said, since they thought it came from it, so they thought it has its own power. Therefore they went and they had a mistake and they went after it. This is the Rosh Hashanah of the words Yisrael Yod Amalei is Beinin is Yud Lamed Yud Allah. Why? Shali Yod Amalei Beinin the Zesh Allah Asher they shame Yud Lamed Yud, that they didn't think into this thing that why did the calf come up, because they had the power of shame Yud Lamed Yud. They didn't think into the Rosh Hashanah. Therefore they said that how did it come up? It came up on its own.
They're talking about the rain of Yosef, or are you talking about
the
Egel? By the Egel knew that Allah kech shel share from the Eibishter. But the Shem Yud Lamed Yud, but the Yidden didn't know. Didn't lay out of his bin. So this is the pirush of the Arizal, that the Yidden didn't know where it's coming from. The Shleimer says the Rebbe, the pirush is that Yisrael Yod Amalei is Beinin. This that the Arizal says that the Yidden didn't know, and they didn't think into this fact that it's coming from the shadish of the shade. Who limits chus al Yisrael? This is a limits chus on the Yidden. Why? Why did they make a mistake to go after the Egel? Why did the Yidden come to make this mistake that they went after the Egel? Because they didn't think that this concept, the Shem Yud Lam Yud, which is higher than the world. Which means, really the Yidden served the Eibishter, even the time of the Egel. Al Shakiv and Sha'oz, how you live Natziv the Bechol Yemi Benecha Kachadoshim, here the Rebbe is tying it in with our mind. That since they didn't know, the Eibishter didn't command them yet that it has to be Bechol Yemi Benecha Kachadoshim, that they have to serve the Eibishter every day as new. It was before the Tzivin in Parshas Veschanan. But the Rebbe says in order 47, Apostle by the Ramela Shanich Misav Hayim Shemenu Lamedim Shemchol Yemi Benecha Kachadoshim number by Parshas Veschanan. There's possible that you have to have today. I'm commanding you today. The Eibishter is commanding us every single day. Is only said in Parshas Veschanan. So that was before that. The Pishash has a kasha say there. But the Ikir word is that this pasuk Shanich Misav Hayim was said much later, at the end of the 40 years. So since they weren't told about the Shkim Shos, like they can't see the Bechol Yemi Benecha Kachadoshim. Lochein Oisa Avidosum Bahagbolim. Therefore, the Aveda was a limited way. So they were serving the Eibishter, but since it was before Bechol Yemi Benecha Kachadoshim, so it was a limited way. So Lochein Agilui. So what were they shayches to? Only the part of the Eibishter was the way he relates to the world, the way he source of the world. He didn't know the Eibishter is higher than the world. Whatever, you can ask questions from other places of Chassidus. It says the holy Noftu of Matan Torah is that the Eibishter was Megala himself, that he's higher than the world. Zayt Kashayvus. Anyways, whatever. But Akaponim here he says maybe it was evolvement of the Matan Torah. Anyway, so they only knew that the Eram Lumish Be'elam. From this came that they made a mistake that they went after the Egel. So they didn't know that there's a Kech higher than the world. And he's making everything happen. There's a Shem Yud Lamed Yud. He brings over here in order 48, Lahoim the Ramatz Vidayt the Tofshun Zayin, the Vidayt the Moskva, Shebegdeish Liyin, since Mokum Laved Zor, it's at least idea Shavai Velkim Kol Echad. Nor not to find in the Mokum for Aved Zor, you have to know that Avai Velkim Kol Echad. That the Eibishter and the Shemus Avai and the Lekim are all one, because from the Lekim itself, eventually, since it's Mokum for Elamis, a person could fall into the worlds of Metzias. And he can fall into Aved Zor. The Afke, when he knows the reality that Avai V'Lekim Kol Echad, that the Eibishter is one, Shem Avai and Lekim, that really it's there, Ablikvul that's causing everything to happen, then he'll never fall into the Yin of Aved Zor.
How are they supposed to know this?
They weren't. That's why they're not. It's not their fault. That's what the Rizal saying. It's a limit schus.
They didn't know till the end.
Till the 40th year. It's very funny. It's very interesting. Because the Rebbe is learning that Rizal is saying it's not their fault. The Torah wasn't yet given. This part of Torah wasn't yet given to them. As at Sivui. That's what he says in the order. Even though he says that by
was im getracht Krishma?
Was haben sie
getracht Krishma?
Was sie getracht bei Echad?
Ja.
Das ist ein Snackschau bei Echad. Nicht Snackschau bei Echad.
Sure. Could be the Rebbe sagt das so mit Schus. Rizal sagt so.
I don't know if that Rizal says. You're right. The Rebbe says.
The Rebbe says so.
Yeah. You're right. Yeah. You're right. So Gams, the Rebbe conclude also says. Also, this is also another thing that we're saying over here. Shechet Egel Gorim L'Shvilis Haluchas. Shadei's nice. I'm sure it's the Shikras HaTeira. We see also. We know that the Chet Egel was gated to break the Luchas. Through that, eventually has the possibility for it to forget the Torah. Like we know, if like we bring the orders 49, K'mayim Razal, and people wouldn't be forgetful. We remember everything we learn. And the only reason we forget is because the looks were broken. This all came from the Chet Egel. Why is the Chet Egel make this happen? So even after the sin of the Chet Egel, they had a connection with Torah. But actually, with that it's only that the limit of Torah after breaking the luchas is a limited way. But it's a limited way. They connected with Torah. They served the Eibishter, but in a limited way. Mela, they were able to come to Chet Egel. They learned Torah, but in a limited way they were able to come to a hefsek, a shikra. By days and nights of shadow, so this the fact that they're a limited connection with the Eibishter. This possibility that should be any nation have a rulership over the Yidden. It said before that if there's Amshach only from Malchus, only from Eir Mugbal, then there's since Mokum for Golus. Like I said before that Malchus is Yedid the Lahachas Saklipis. said, this is also what we say in Eichos Zcheir Havaya Mehoya Lonu. It says, Zcheir Havaya Mehoya Lonu. So what's the Pashto Pshat? That they should remember what happened to us. But Tzemach Tzedek explains a different Pshat. Here, like this. The Ma'u Shem Havaya. Ma is referring to Shem Havaya b'Mila Alfin b'Gematria Ma. When you write Al Shem Havaya with the Miloi, Yud Vav Dalet and Hey Aleph and Vav Aleph and Hey Aleph, so then it becomes, the Gematria is 45. Ma. The Lonu 86 is Gematria Elikim. It's Gematria Elikim. So Pirush Ma Hoya Lonu Shavaya Naisa B'Chinas Elikim. What's the meaning of Ma Hoya Lonu? That the shame Ma, the shame of Havaya became Lonu, became Elin of Elikim. That it's not the shame Havaya is not Mizgal Kameshahu. It became Elin of Elikim. Not the advantage of Havaya Chibur Havaya and Elikim. The Chesoron that Havaya became lower, became only a level of Elikim. We only know of Elikim, in other words. Ma Hoya Lonu. The Ma becomes Elikim. Shleim Adim Ma Hoya Lonu B'Aveda Sodom explains what does it mean in Aveda that a person lives in a way of Ma Hoya Lonu. Havaya Ulamayla Mateva. Elikim B'Gematria Teva. Havaya is higher than nature, and Elikim is nature. Shegam Kshiyash Lonu Matzlocha Shalamayla Mateva. O Cheshush is a Teva. Sometimes the person has a Tzlocha Ulamayla Mateva, and he thinks this is nature. This is the regular thing. It's not a maphis. It's not a miracle. Some people, in every small thing that happens in life, they see it's a miracle from the Eibishter. They came to the bus stop and the bus was right there just when they came. A miracle. Everything's a miracle. Other people, they can live life and then things happen and it's all, as Eidarb said, this is nature. So he says over here, that Ma Hoya Lonu is a yin of nature. Everything is natural. It causes him to think, because he has such a great log, such a great hatzlocha, he thinks that it's all his hamtzois that made him to come such a tzlocha. Just like it was by the eagle. Because such a great thing happened, which is beyond nature, that's they start thinking that came from itself. They should have thought this is coming from the Eibishter. Instead, they start thinking that this is coming from themselves. So it has its own keich. So this is the problem. So we're telling so what should we do about it? We have to remember the Eibishter. What does it mean? We should serve the Eibishter in a way of zikorin higher than any limitation. Which means we should constantly have kachadoshim. It shouldn't just be that the first time we have chayis, the second time we have less chayis. Rather, we should constantly have the scene of kadoshim. Through this we have Gilav Avaya, which Avaya, Erasev, even Shalomayla Mislapshas. Higher than Islapshas and Shem Elikim. This is the Pirush of the Tzemach Tzedek. Now the Rebbe says, the Yeshel Kash is a Pirush of Baal Shem Tov Posuk. We connect this with the Pirush of the Baal Shem Tov Posuk, the Ma'ayolonu, who Gilu Mad Anashama. Now what's Ma'ayolonu? That the Shem Ma, the Ma of the Neshama, is revealed to us. The Ma'ayolonu. The level of Ma is to us, is revealed to us. Kamad Anashama Etzem Neshama Shlomayla Mislapshas. Shikshurim Avay Shlomayla Mislapshas Ve'elo. When a person has his gila etzman neshama higher than his slapshus, which is connected with the Eibishter, which is higher than coming into the world, that causes that he should have the aved of zcheir, also remembrance, which means it's not limited, it doesn't change. He's constantly on this state. He's constantly on this level of remembrance. He constantly remembers the Eibishter. It's not something that fades away. Like we said before, the yin of zikaron is a yin of Blikvul. The fact that a person has any of Shikha means that he never really knew it. It wasn't so dear to him. It wasn't atzmi. It's something I could forget about. It's not so important to him. It's not atzmi. It's not him. So this is the din of Zecher Avaya Me'ayolonu. That through Me'ayolonu we have the din of Zecher.
That's the same thing as calling Kadoshim?
That's the din of calling Kadoshim. Zecher is the din of calling Kadoshim.
Shouldn't it, if it becomes his nature, shouldn't it be a ma'ila that, and why should he get excited? It's a normal thing already. That's
the chiddush we learned last week. The Rebbe said that he has two afochim together. That even though that's a chiddush, it's constantly a chiddush. Zman gufa, which is the in of chiddush, the whole idea of chiddush is based at the in of zman, because if it's not zman, it's not a shinui. The whole in of chiddush means it's a shinui before it was, now it is. And this gufa should be constantly. We should constantly be living that, oh, wow, look what happened, look what I gained, look what I have. I have Torah mitzvahs. That's the chibur of shtei afoch, zman. You have to have change, or else you wouldn't be a in of chiddush. The whole part of the title of the word chiddush is that's a chiddush dover that didn't exist a second ago. And together with that, it's b'chol yemi b'nech chadash. It's constantly. The zman itself is the ma'alim azman. That's what the Rebbe explained. It's the edel word.
Yeah, I'm saying if he gets every single time excited, like you said, it's a minute before he didn't have it.
That's the hafochim. That's the hafochim. The opposites. That it's in the in of zman guf. It becomes the ma'alim azman. That even though it's a timely thing, it's something that you have to say that he didn't have it, now he has. But that goof, that feeling, that emotional feeling that he has when he gets excited, when he gets something new, he should constantly have that. He should live higher than time. The time it should be constantly. Time itself should be constant. Time itself, the mile of Zman will say, the mile that Zman gives, that he has a chiddush, that he has a chais in the chiddush, should be la mile Zman, should be constantly. That's chibur seif b'mali. So this is the pshat that he says that. This is the pshat that he said. Now he's concluding the minor. He started off. This is the minor from the Alter Rebbe. He said that if a person is not the way he should be, so then he needs to have a redemption. Tzim b'mishpat tipad v'shaveh b'tzedakah. That he has to redeem his neshama from golus. What's the tzim b'mishpat tipad v'zel tzim b'mishpat tipad v'shaveh b'tzedakah? Shem beis dargas b'neshama. This pasuk is referring to two different dargas in the neshama. Tzin, he dargs and the neshama shalamaylam mislabshes beguf. What's tzin? That's the level of the neshama which is higher than being clothed in the body. This is mad the neshama. This is the level of ma of the neshama, the etzem of the neshama. Like I said before, ma hayolonu, the gidel mad the neshama. That's etzem neshama shalamaylam mislabshes. That's the mad the neshama. The pchina zo in shashti b'shivim b'nafsh habayim. This level is impossible that it should be in captivity by the nafsh habayim. That what? That shamiris v'simcha shalo yim minyon elam hazeh. That this neshama, part of the neshama, should also be excited and be down from minyon elam hazeh. The only thing that could happen to this level of the neshama is shehi begolus. That it's in exile. What's the exile? She'eini begili by the neshama shebeguf. It's not made begili in the neshama shebeguf. That means the person doesn't feel it. It's not felt in the neshama shebeguf in the person. That's the higher level of the neshama. That only gets in the level of it's not shavel. Shavel he darks and neshama should be slapshus. So which level do we say that it gets the eifn of shivya? Shavel, it gets captivity, it gets the farchab the nefesh habaymis. The lower level of the neshama, which is enclosed in the body, it's possible that it should be in captivity by the nefesh habaymis. Shamir v'simcha shalo hemiyon elamazah. That his excitement and his meridus is from his downs is from yon elamazah. That could happen to the neshama, even the part of the neshama which is mislabus in the book. Shleimar shalder.
The neshama gets the mirrors and
yeah, the part of the neshama that's mislabsh to the nefesh habayim also gets this tchuna. They talk to them. The pchina is v'shash tibushiv is nefesh habayim shamiris v'simcha shalo im yon elamazah, which the nefesh habayim is v'simcha shalo b'meil. That pile that has an impact on the neshama also. That the neshama also has this feeling of being down and high from yon elamazah. It says the person the neshama is mislabsh in the guf. It said Alter Rebbe brings in Tanya that the ker v'cheim has also impact on the neshama. If it's not a good room temperature, he can't learn, he can't daven. Has impact on the neshama. He can't be himself. It has an impact on him.
It's what we call usually nefesh, Mr.
Yeah, the lower level, the naran or naran.
Yeah, so not really.
Not chayichida. I think it's naran. I don't know. Whatever. I think it's naran. I don't know.
I mean, to get an impacted ma, a direct impact should be the lowest, the horror of nefesh, mamish that's working in the body.
Look, neshama mlubesh v'guf. Neshama shebeguf. Is the etzem neshama shelamayil mislapshes? Naran, b'derech kol naran, or some naran, not etzem naran.
Yeah, but I feel naran is echt.
Naran go for that means that the or is naran and the etzem of naran in chnami. The etzem of naran is not mislapshes in the go in chnami. Alle poshtem, that is alle poshtem. That wegen bechlal. What's bechlal mislabish? Aber the nefesh, aber the grens wegen weg mir sein. That ich bin geweest. But I'm not saying that. I'm saying bechlal chassidus. What's the type of which part of the neshama is mislabish in the guf? The keches apnimim the Mechin, the Midis, and the Maisa, that's mislabish in the Guf. That's the Neshama, Ruach HaNefesh. Naran. Mashiach HaYechid is higher than mislabish in the Guf. I think so. I don't know, maybe make a mistake. If he, but tell him all that he's going to say the end of the Maamar, the Yucham Cham Savaya is the of the Muhammad and the Dags and Shama Best Beguf. He's going to say in the end of the Maamar. So that's the Aveda of Tam V'das. That's the Aveda. That's the part of the Neshama that's which is fighting with the Nefesh HaBaimis. He's in a fight. The Nefesh HaBaimis could win him over, whatever. It can happen. He's established in the Nefesh HaBaimis. That's the Naran. The etzem of the Neshama is not established. If I've told the Nefesh HaBaimis, whatever, he's not machshim b'chlal. He darf sich rechnen, sich spetel. He darf sich nicht mazber sein, why the Eibishter is a good thing. It's pshitis. Anyway, that's what I think. Anyway, Shaveh, Darks and Neshama should be established. Shaveh is the level of the Neshama. Yeah, fine. Yishlemish al derech ambor b'Persha Kosov, we say that this is al derech, which is explaining the meaning of the pasuk. V'teimer tzin azavani avaye v'anish chichon. It says in the pasuk azavani avaye, that avaye is only azavani. Ashing adne, in the name of adne, it says chichoni. He forgets me, not just he leaves go of me. He forgets me. The shich sheyesh dover am shakech. Later heder as a not just he's not remembering about me. He's actually there's something to make forgetfulness. The Bavai, the Navai, which that's which is higher than coming into the world. It's impossible that it should have the forgetfulness. Why? Because it doesn't come into the world, it doesn't give place for the world to make it a Metzias. For who was the of the Aziva? That the goal is the Eibush is not made. We don't feel the Eibush. We don't feel this part of the Eibush which is higher than the world. But not that he gets farchapt in goals and klippus. What happens? What's the goals in B'chinas Tzion that's not shining in the Neshama Shebeguf? Over there, Shailin of Shikha, that he should actually make up an union of something which is the opposite of good. He didn't samach slachas aklipis. Al derech hashivi b'dargs and shom shebchinas islabshus shamris v'simcha shlo yichel nis minyon elamazeh. In dargs and shom shebchinas islabshus, it's shaykh the union of shivya that the simcha and the meridus of hers comes from yon elamazeh. So he says, "Zel." This is why we say tzim b'mishpat tipad v'shaveh b'tzdaka. Shabdi the b'chinas tzim midvar ha'machas malau meina magilu shaban shom shebeguf. What's the redemption of the level of Tzin? From things that cover over and don't let it be revealed in the Neshama Shebeguf by the Atayr. It's through learning Torah. He learns Torah. What's Mishpat first? He says, what's Mishpat to Alochs Atayr? The Alochs of Torah. So he says Mishpat is referring to the Alochs of Torah. Why Torah is Torah is Lichtigkeit. Torah L'chein al Yod and Nas is nice, Agil the B'chinas Tzin, so it reveals everything. So it reveals the level of Tzin. When a person learns Torah, he reveals his neshama. He knows the etzem of he feels the etzem of neshama is made by him. That's the mile of Torah. Torah is megala. Whatever was hidden beforehand, now is going to be revealed. B'chal Torah, b'chal Torah, the Lashon b'chal says that Torah is megala. You want to know what a Yom Tov is, what a Shabbos is, what anything is. You have to learn Torah. When you learn Torah, it's revealed to you what it is. It's not that it's mahavading. It's creating the reality. The thing is there, just you have to know what it is. It's Torah's megal, what it is. Al derech hibna gets in the neshama to know what the neshama is, to know what we contain, what we have within ourselves. So this is the dark of the etzem of the neshama is megal through the yin of Torah. The dark of the neshama should be slab, should be shivi b'nefesh habaymis. B'shavel, how do you redeem the neshama which is enclosed in nefesh habaymis? Which is the who tzedakah, that's through tzedakah. Why? What's tzedakah? Tzedakah hainu kol samitzvah shadikru tzedakah. The all mitzvahs are called tzedakah. Like the Rebbe was being the Yishalmi, Tanya, or Frata, the tzedakah kipshuta, especially through tzedakah kipshuta, the tzedakah ksiv rechava mitzvahs chamei. That about tzedakah it says that your mitzvahs are very rechava. Shadei mitzvahs tzedakah nimshach agil deir ablikvul. That through doing mitzvahs of tzedakah, your mamshach deir ablikvul. V'agilu yehu gam b'neshama m'beshes beguf. And the revelation comes even down to the Neshama, since tzedakah has this power that it's a stronger power than Teda. Teda is megal what's just behelim not begilui. Here you have to be taking out of shivya, taking out of the hepech. So you need to have to eira bli gvul, which this could penetrate even the lower levels of the neshama, which is mislavish with gufal. There is a lamaila b'sfir samach and it comes b'shem shchina al shem mislabeshes b'tachtenim lachyesom ubei from these slapshes. So this comes even into this level. And it comes in the way of his slapshes. This eira bli gvul comes in the way of his slapshes. So when you have these two opposites, so you have these two opposites. The eira bli gvul is made into the neshama, unless we go from the way of his slapshes. By days in nimshach gamagil, that's when the neshama mamish. So not just you have the gilui of tzim b'mishpat tipod, which is two dargis in the neshama, dargis shalamayel mislapshes, dargis shalamayel beguf. You reveal also the etzem of the neshama mamish, shalamayel gami dargis and neshama shalamayel mislapshes. It's even higher than the darg of the neshama, which is higher than the slapshes. The etzem of the neshama mamish. It's not just it's greater than coming into the body. That it's the person. It doesn't come mislapshes in the guf. It's higher than higher. It's a hecher v'hecher. It's no hecher. It's no hecher v'hecher. That's one neshama. Although the chiluk of mamali save and atzmus in himself. You have mamali with the eibush is mamali mislabish beilam. Save the way the eibush is higher than coming into the world. Then there's the etzem of the eibush atzmus in himself. There's higher than saying that he's higher than coming into the world. And this comes when is he revealed? Well, darshan is bar siv gimel shayichad to save mamali or the gil kecha atzmus. That who could make the unification, the fusion of save and mamali? That save, if it should come bin as gala in mamali, is dafka through kecha atzmus. Through kecha atzmus, which has no agdor, it's not together of gul, not together of bligvul. Therefore, he could be miyachad afochim. Of save and mamali, miyachad the neshama shalmayel mislapshes, into the neshama mislabeshes, that should feel the slapshes, naif, and of his slapshes, he says, that's one neshama. Since a person, the world is given dependent on the person's heart, wherever the person's heart is, that's where the world is going to be. And that that's causes that also in the world. That which is coming from Amali. When you have the fusion of these two opposites, in Teva, this is going to cause, there should be the revelation of Atzmus, which unites the two. When you have this, you have Gilei Atzmus, not just use the way the Lashon Gilei Atzmus, not just the Gilei Atzmus, Gilei Atzmus, which is Mechaber the two, which this causes Dir B'Tachtenim, Dir Leila Atzmus, that the Eibush himself is Mizgala. This he brings from Samavov over there. He brings very interesting over there. He says at the beginning, he says, what's the reason the Eibush created the world? So he said that the Eibush created the world for Yichud Seva Mamali. So then he says, Gemoshel Adam, that Atzmus Adam Darba Adire. In Savakosh Baruch Dir Tachtenim, Atzmus Adam Darba Adire. So the question is, how did these two lines fit together? The first line he says that the reason the Eibush created the world is to make Yichud Seva Mamali. Then he says, Atzmus Adam Darba Adire. So according to these few lines over here, this Maimer, it's understood that in order there should be Yichud Seva Mamali, you need Kecha Atzmus. You need Atzmus. In other words, if you have Yichud Seva Mamali, you have Atzmus over there. Without Atzmus, it wouldn't happen. So that's the ultimate kavanah of Dir Leis Bar Leila Atzmus. So although in Lashon HaMayim uses Yichud Seva Mamali, really he means the Keach to make the Yichud Seva Mamali, which that's only Atzmus could make it Yichud Seva Mamali. It's over here. It's supposedly it says it in the Maimon, but over there in the Maimon, if you learn some Vov, and he said he's with science some over there, but over there in the Maimon some Vov, you could question. Even though over there is the mocker from this whole thing of the Kavanah, the Fatayv Skin Kasha, and everyone knows the first Maimon some Vov, but over here he touches his the Indian, I think. Very soon should be in the sky the Avtocha. And the promise that we have that sin will be redeemed. It's b'mishpat v'shaveh b'tzedakah. How? Sheyam melech from Beis David hege b'teil. Doshtal hakenig from Beis David hege b'teil v'say harvet b'teil mishpat. Beis b'mitzvah which that's tzedakah. V'yichem b'chametz Hashem b'yinatzeach, and he'll take care of the wars of Hashem, and he'll win the wars. Yishleim zeh sheyichem b'chametz Hashem. What's the pshat yichem b'chametz Hashem? Oh, idea beide b'dargas Hashem al mubashes b'guf. That's the Aveda of Dargas and the Shama, which is involved in the body. Why? Like I said before, that Shaveda B'Dargas will be able to Mechamim Nav Shabayim. He has to have a war with Nav Shabayim. He's at war because he has to explain it to him. And he can't just come, this is the facts. He has to explain it to him. He's Melubish B'Aguf. If Shetamarayim Shtot in such a way, it's Zelum Azosalikim. only before the less law, but instead of madrigas, other madrigas, there's a managid. You have to overcome it, and that's Yilchem Chems Hashem. The Yivne Mikdash came in. They Agilab Gam B'Choleil through building the Beis Hamikdash. The revelation of the Eibush will be also in the whole world. Why the Chaleins Beis Hamikdash Shkuf Matumim? They were going outwards. Shemehem mediates the Choleil. The light of the Beis Hamikdash went out to the whole world. And also the Kabbalah in Israel gathered all the Yidden, the Yisak and Salem, Kol Av Savaya, Kol Zeb, Kol Mamash, Kol Dedan. This all should happen speedily in our days.
What does it say?
He's saying a lot of things. Huh? The ganze Tzim Mish Padre Shrab Stock Kilo as Mashiach what is done. As hat lernen Teile, Eisig Beteile, das Ding von Tzim Mish Padre. Und Hege Beteile Tzim Mish Padre. Wir Shava Bitzdaka is the Eisig B'mitzvahs. He's taking care of you. Everything is telling Mashiach. Mashiach Reish B'nai Yisrael. Er helfen.
Das ist Jakob Kolson.
Teitsch ist die ganze Sache für Mashiach. Erzähl mir mich, du warst echt auf Mashiach. Auf jeder Mensch. Darf auch kommen zusammen, ja.
Kijk, ja, zo wel.